used to have this appetite for food, for life, and it's just gone. I want to go someplace where I can marvel at something.
In the movie Eat, Pray, Love, Julia Roberts plays a frustrated divorcee who takes a year-long trip to Italy, India, and Bali in search of inner peace. And so often, as women and men, we're caught up in counting calories, we're obsessed with relationships, and sometimes it can be overwhelming.
Dr. Jonathan Ellerby is a Ph.D. in religion, spiritual advisor, program director for Canyon Ranch Health Resort. He joins us here to talk about this. Thanks for coming in, Doctor.
Thanks for having me.
So we're talking about living life the Eat, Pray, Love way, which can be pretty challenging if you're not going to buy a ticket and head overseas for a year. We can't all do that.
Right, no. Well, I myself used to travel very extensively and still take people on exotic trips. But the truth is now, I'm a father, I'm a husband, I have a mortgage, and I have to find inspiration at home. And I think that's what most readers are asking. How do I stay inspired at home?
Well, yeah, you know, Phoenix and the desert Southwest is kind of like a center for a lot of people who move here to start over again, thinking that the wonderful weather and the change of where they live is going to change their life, but that's not often the case.
No, in fact, that's one of the important messages people need to learn in looking at this movie and this very popular book, which is that inspiration is really an inside job. It's really not about where we go, and it's not about what we do or what we make. It's really about how we live the choices that we have in front of us. So when we see a lot of the despair and crisis in the world today about the economy and politics, you know, people are waiting for someone else to fix it. When inspiration, it's got to start at home.
Okay, so let's start with Eat. We've got a clip of Julia Roberts in a pizza shop. Watch this.
I'm in love. I'm having a relationship with my pizza. You look like you're breaking up with the pizza. What's the matter?
I can't.
I mean, you can't. This is pizza margarita in Napoli. It is your moral imperative to eat and enjoy that pizza.
I want to, but I've gained like 10 pounds. I mean, I've got this.
Okay, we've all been there, right?
Yeah.
You want to enjoy it, but you feel guilty.
Yeah, but I mean, eating is something we should enjoy, right?
Right, so one of the messages I think that we need to be careful about in this movie, but certainly I try to make clear in my book, is that life is always about a balance between what is healthful and what is indulgent. And I think that one of the tricky things is that we've come to think that health means denying ourselves. So there are good ways that you can enjoy good food, but moderate portions. You can enjoy taking time for yourself in your spare life without always looking after others, but not to the sort of deficit of your family. So it's balance.
I like that about not denying yourself. You can actually add things to your life if you balance it out.
Yeah, in fact, what we find, and certainly in my experience, is the more that denial becomes a part of your relationship to food or even exercise and other things, the more likely you are to actually react over time and then binge or make some exaggerated choices that are ultimately going to counter everything you've tried to do.
Okay, let's move on to pray.
Yes.
Can we find, you know, calmness and be more spiritual ourselves without, you know, having to go away to another country or take a vacation or a cruise or anything like that?
Yeah, well, there's an interesting point in her book that interestingly echoes something that I try to share, which is that this whole idea of using prayer to calm yourself, in its simplest form, is just about taking some quiet time every day. Get away from your BlackBerry and even your television and your computer, just to kind of regroup, center yourself. If you believe in a higher power, make that relationship. And if you're not clear about that yet, well, at least take some time to feel gratitude and a sense of what's important.
And in the book, in the book, she goes to India to an ashram to learn how to meditate. But I found that going to yoga once a week really does wonders.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's ways that we can center our minds and learn to meditate right in our hometowns, whether it's church or synagogue or yoga. In fact, simple breathing exercises can also lead a person to a more meditative state. And you know, I think there's a lot of resources out there on the web. Certainly I offer that in my book as well.
Okay. One other thing, we want to talk about love. And, you know, here's a clip from the movie to show how obsessed we are with love.
Here I am with a 9th generation medicine man, and what do I want to ask him about? Getting closer to God?
No, she wants to talk about a relationship.
Yeah, we cut off her soundbite, but yeah, she wants to talk about a boyfriend. Is he going to call? Is this guy going to text me?
Right.
And I find that so often with a lot of women in my life. My girlfriends are the same way. We're all the same way.
Correct, and that's exactly my experience. I'll take people to an exotic place like Africa. We'll be in a little village with a medicine man, and instead of asking something about the meaning of life or how to connect with the spiritual world, the question is, you know, how could I lose weight, or how can I get my husband to listen to me more? And so ultimately, that's why we return to the same question, which is, you know, inspiration is not about going around the world. It's about how we show up at our job. It's about how we communicate with the people we love, and it's about how we respect our health and ourselves.
Here's your book. I want to show it and get a shot of it on camera here. Inspiration Deficit Disorder, the no-pill prescription to end high stress, low energy, and bad habits. Here it is right
Very
here. Now,
cool.
this is available at all bookstores?
It sure is.
Amazon?
Absolutely.
Everybody?
We could all use a little dose of this every day, I think.
Yeah, I found actually when I finished writing it, I realized I needed the book.
Got to practice what you preach.
That's right.
Dr. Jonathan Ellerby, Ph.D. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Now, is it okay if we manja on some pizza?
I think when we get off the
I don't
air.
want to deny myself.
Yeah, when we get to India, we will.
And as far as the quiet time, well, that would be after 10 a.m. to get away from the TV.
Well, right.
Oh, yes. Only after this show is over.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.